how much at home I feel because I'm with broadcasters. You're supposed to applaud. Everybody comes from somewhere, and I was blessed to grow up in Wadena, Saskatchewan. As Pamela had mentioned, a place where many broadcasters called home. She herself, Pamela, Bob Washington, whose dad was the dentist, Barry Bowman, who featured as the morning mayor in Victoria, Chuck Rusto in sports in Edmonton, Bobby Perseski, Brian Byman, Brian Johnson, Earl LePage, who was a famous broadcaster in the 1940s in Los Angeles, California, and others. Well, it was 1959, and I was straight out of high school, stepping off a bus in Weyburn, Saskatchewan, on a cold September day to audition for the voice of the Siouxland, a 1,000-watt CFSL. 2 years in operation, but for me, it was LA. This was the thing I wanted most of all, to be on the air. But the station manager, K.D. Baker, declared a name change was necessary because Borys was not conducive to good English radio. Well, that meant a call to my immigrant shoemaker dad back home in Wadena. Dad, I think I have a job to be a broadcaster, but I have to change my name. Change your name? What's wrong with Borys? Borys, good name. You come home, I make you shoemaker. Thanks, Dad. But you know, being a radio announcer has always been my dream, and I'd appreciate your permission on the name change. Well, after a long pause, he says, okay, Sonny, whatever makes you happy. And so Boyd Kozak became his 59-year career. 6 months in Weyburn, a call from one of Western Canada's oldest and greatest stations, the 10,000-watt CHAB Moose Jaw, called me and convinced me to join the company of legends back then. Some of you who are a little older in the room will remember Cy Knight, Ken Newens, Larry Bradford, Ken McCreath, the McManus brothers, John and Chuck. Well, 6 months later saw me at the U of S in Saskatoon. Funds were short after books and tuition were paid for, but good fortune came my way to learn that CFQC Radio 600 was hiring summer replacements, and soon I would share studios with broadcast greats of their day, Wes Montgomery, Denny Carr, Wally Stanbuck, Lloyd Saunders, Peter Hicks, Darrell Burlingham, Les Edwards, and many more. A call from CKRC's Bob McDonald, 1963, convinced me to come to Winnipeg and help make a difference in that great community with dynamic personalities like Don Slade, Bob Redford, Bob Washington, Doc Steen, Jimmy Paulson, Tom Charrington, and a host of others. Coming to work continued to be an absolute joy. Like many of us in this room, change of ownership meant change of employment. And for the next 23 years, country music station QX104 became my new home. There it was morning teams, Sandler and James, Ron Abel and Caroline Hunter, Mookie Wilson, Brody and Samantha, whose youth and fresh dynamism offered me renewed energy and delight in my final broadcast years. Allow me to offer gratitude as I sign off today to the management team of the Jim Pattison Broadcast Group Winnipeg, manager Heidi Rasmussen, and PD Janet Tricarton for presenting my name for nomination tonight. A total unexpected surprise. Finally, if I may, I'd like to dedicate the honor of this induction to my shoemaker dad, who raised 3 boys, one of whom is with me today,